Let me know when you guys are set. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. I have some people with me here that we're collaborating with. I'd like to thank them for being here. District Attorney Andrea Harrington, our Town of Lee Manager Chris Britton, to my right, Lieutenant Clappert from the Massachusetts State Police, Sergeant Maurer for the Massachusetts State Police Detective Unit, Berkshire Detective Unit, Lee Fire Department Chief Ryan Brown, to my right, and Sergeant Stephanie Burdick. Again, I thank you for coming. We've asked you here to provide an overall update about a missing persons investigation for 42-year-old Meghan Marohn of Del Mar, New York. We consider this a missing persons investigation at this point, and we have no specific new developments to report, but we recognize it's the fourth day of the investigation, so we felt that it was important just to keep our community informed, the public informed as to where we're at. I do have to preference the comments today and remind everybody that things are fluid. It's an open investigation, okay, and not all details are available or appropriate for us to share at this time. We will take some questions at the end, but I don't know that I'll be able to answer all of them. What I can say, though, is Meghan Marohn was reported missing on Tuesday, 3/29, by her family to the Bethlehem, New York Police Department. And I apologize. We also have Commander James Rexford from the Bethlehem Police Department here as well. We've been collaborating with that agency. After the Bethlehem Police Department received the missing persons report, they started their investigation. As it would happen on that same day, on the 29th, the Lee Police Department became aware of a vehicle that was parked on Church Street, Longcomb Park. It's a small park, about 46 acres, and it does have hiking trails. It was reported that a vehicle had been parked there since Sunday, so Lee police officers responded and determined that the vehicle belonged to Meghan. So from that point forward, multiple public safety issues began a coordinated search and investigative effort trying to locate Meghan. As of today, April 1st, we have not located Meghan, but I want to assure all of you and members of the public and our community, we are doing everything that we can to locate her. And of course, our thoughts and prayers are with her, her family, and her friends. To date, we've brought an enormous amount of resources and personnel to this investigation. Members of the Lee Police Department, Massachusetts State Police CERT team, and under them the Massachusetts K-9 units, multiple K-9 units, the Mass State Police Air Wing. We've also deployed Massachusetts State Police drones. Massachusetts State Police Berkshire Detective Unit, extremely valuable resource that we've partnered with. The Lee Fire Department and the many firemen and paramedics. Berkshire Mountain Search and Rescue is new, and they're also now assisting us, and of course the Bethlehem Police Department in New York. To date, we focused on an approximate area of 2 square miles in the general area of where her car was located. As we continue our organized effort, we're not looking for any outside assistance. While we appreciate the offers that we've received, at this point it would probably compromise search efforts. So again, with our thanks, we would ask volunteers to hold off. I can say, while the matter is still under investigation, I don't believe there's any direct threat to our community. I think that's important to report at this point. But having said that, as we continue our investigation, anybody with information, we encourage them to give us a call at 413-243-5530. We also have a picture of Meghan. She is a white female that's 42 years old, about 115 pounds, and these are approximates. It's important for people to remember that. 5'6" tall, auburn hair and green eyes, and again, she was last seen, we believe, on Sunday in the area, Church Street area. She was driving a 2017 Subaru Impreza hatchback, colored black. So if there are people with information or details, I encourage them to give us a call. Again, the number is 413-243-5530. And I'd like to defer to DA Harrington for a few comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Andrea Harrington. I'm the Berkshire District Attorney. First and foremost, I want to send my regards to the family and loved ones of Ms. Marohn, and I really want to commend the efforts of Chief DeSantis and all of the various law enforcement agencies that have been working thoroughly and collaboratively on the search for Meghan. I want to stress that this is very much a search effort for a missing persons. It is typical and normal for local police departments to reach out to the Berkshire Detective Unit for assistance on the investigative side when there is a missing persons search and investigation. And my office has made those resources available. I have Sergeant Maurer here from the Berkshire Detective Unit. We are, all of the resources of the Massachusetts State Police are available for this search, and we are utilizing those resources. So I really want to encourage anybody who has any potential information about Ms. Marohn's disappearance to please contact the Lee Police Department. Thank you. I believe the chief was up for taking a few questions.
Yeah, I can take some questions if there are any.
Chief, how would you describe the terrain of that park? And after a 4-day search, the park is 46 acres, as you mentioned. 2 square acre search doesn't seem like a lot of ground was covered.
So we're actually operating both in and outside of the park. It's approximately a 2 square mile area, and while it doesn't seem large, that is actually a quite large area. I would say some areas of the terrain we're searching are extremely difficult, very, very thick, and that's kind of hampered search efforts, and that's why we don't want volunteers out there that we're not aware of, because we're trying to track all of the spaces that we've gone, and I can certainly defer to Lieutenant Clapper. They are extremely well-trained and well-equipped and very proficient at searching areas.
And Ms. Harrington, at a point when there doesn't appear to be any signs of criminal activity, any nefarious activity, why would a district attorney be involved with a missing person like this?
Well,
Sure,
certainly. So Berkshire County is made up of a lot of small town police departments, and they really rely on the Berkshire Detective Unit for access to things like our digital evidence unit, sending forensic evidence to the crime lab. Our detectives are very experienced investigators. They give advice on how, potential different investigatory steps to take. Detectives from the State Police Detective Unit are helping looking for surveillance videos. So they just help with supporting local police departments in that fashion in a lot of different cases. We don't only handle homicide investigations. We provide a lot of other kinds of support.
But just to clarify, there's no evidence at this point that indicates that a crime was committed?
Thank you for clarifying that. At this point, there is no evidence that a crime was committed.
There was a tip that we had gotten that she might have checked into the Red Lion Inn in Stockbridge before she went missing. Is that something you're aware of? Can you confirm that?
So what I'm willing to confirm at this point is yes, she checked into a local hotel. At this point, I'm not willing to share the name, but yes, we do know that came up early in the investigation in a neighboring town. She was staying at a local hotel.
Do you know which night or how long?
Yeah, she checked in Thursday night, but that's as much as I can share about that.
Now, have you also heard that people are describing her as a hiker, or do you know if she was a hiker? And then is it possibility that she could have fallen or injured herself on a trail somewhere? Is that possibility something you're looking into?
Sure, it's a possibility. Investigators are speaking to friends and family and trying to get all that background information. But to directly answer your question, yes, she does have a history of hiking.
During your search, have you found any of her items, any evidence to point to where she was hiking, the exact route she was taking?
Not physical evidence, but we are using some cell phone data, prior cell phone data, to assist in establishing search areas.
And as far as you know, she was alone during this hike?
As far as we know, yes.
So you believe she may have had a cell phone on her during the hike or during her time away from the car?
Just give me 1 second, sir. I saw your hand up, Dick.
Any indication, does she have any medical condition that possibly would affect her, that she would become disabled in any way? Does she, epilepsy, anything like that, any type of, heart condition or anything like that, because just based on her picture, she looks like she's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, that's currently being reviewed, that part. We do have investigators looking into that now.
Okay.
I'm
I was
sorry, sir.
asking you about the cell phone. Do you have reason to believe she may have had it on her? And is it possible
Yes.
to track down a cell phone if the battery is dead?
Not after the battery is dead, and yes, we do believe she had it on her. So we do have activity after the vehicle was parked.
Okay. And maybe a question for Jim. Were there any calls, domestic calls at her house in Delmar before she made this excursion to the Berkshires?
There wasn't. And so she went to her trip here to Massachusetts, and after a couple of days of the family not hearing from her, one of the family members reported her.
Have you had any unusual calls at her home in recent months or years?
No.
Mr. Rexford, was there any indication she was here visiting friends or what have you, or was this basically a trip she basically planned on herself and she wasn't going to hook up with somebody, like she was going to meet somebody like Saturday night or Sunday after her hike?
I don't have those details, but my understanding is this is not out of the ordinary for her to go on a trip like this.
To go off by herself?
Correct.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody, for coming, and thanks to Chief for hosting this.
How long
Have a good day.
will this take?
For as long as it takes until we're satisfied, completely satisfied. And any additional information, obviously, if there's future information, we would act on it at that point.
Was there any unusual evidence found around her car? Signs of a struggle?
No, there was not. No.
Are you returning to the search scene now?
Yep, as we speak, our team's still currently deployed. And the only other thing I would ask is if our town manager had anything that he wanted to add or say.
Thank you, Chief DeSantis. On behalf of the entire town of Lee, our thoughts and prayers go out to Meghan's family during this time, and we just want to again recognize the extraordinary efforts of multiple agencies that have been involved with this rescue. Of course, as we mentioned before, the Massachusetts State Police has deployed their air wing units and their special emergency response teams. Chief Brown and the fire department, including both his career and call firefighters that have come in to help with this, Berkshire Search and Rescue, and of course Chief DeSantis and the entire Lee Police Department. So everyone has demonstrated exceptional leadership and commitment to these efforts, and we want to thank them very much for that. So thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.